What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer here, back again with another video, and I am here with my boy Leighton, who was a student of mine about 6 to 8 months ago, right? Around that time, and we actually grew a store to $100,000 in revenue together, and since then, he actually took it upon himself to get a student for himself. And he has been coaching this student and was actually able to take them from 0 to 2,000 per day in revenue, using what he taught, working with me and working on his own store. So now, you've grown multiple stores to 6 figures. And I thought it was very, very cool. So I figured that we'd hop on a video, break down, the entire strategy that was used, how everything worked, so that you guys can get a good idea of like how to actually go out there and build a store from nothing to 2K a day. So as many of you already know, I've been working with Leighton for quite a long time, and I really enjoyed him as a student, no homo. And literally the second I heard that he decided to take on a student and brought him to 2,000 per day in just 30 days, we made the decision to bring Leighton on as a coach under Viral Ecom, which is my educational company, and he's gonna be helping our students, one-on-one coaching, basically find a winner and scale, just like he did for the student that we're gonna be talking about in this video. So if you're interested in that, definitely let us know. There will be a link to apply to work with us in the description, and you can also find Leighton on TikTok. He's been making TikToks like every day, sharing his strategies and his advices on what to do. So let's get right into the case study now. We're gonna pretty much expose everything except for the product because it's still running. But yeah, let's dive right into it. So Leighton, before we get into, base level strategies and really in depth on everything that you did, do you kind of want to tell the story, just overview on like, what you guys have done with this store so far, how much revenue, what was the profit, just so that people have a good idea of like what you built up? Yeah,
so after building the store with you and the mentorship, I took what I learned and helped out a friend of mine who is now my student, Jake. And we tested a few products, and after a couple of tests, we found a winning product. And the first day, it really popped off with about 20 sales on the first day. And quickly, we got into scaling to 2K per day consistently, and it's been like that for the past 2.5 months now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Shopify graph right now. I see some spikes up to like 4K days there.
That's Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Oh yeah, I see that, bro. Like, so it's I can show a screenshot on the screen, but like it's very, very consistent for a TikTok ad store. Like, you guys know how it is with TikTok and shit. Like, but the last month especially, it's like a straight line almost. Yeah. And then Black Friday is just like a skyrocket. What was the record day on the store?
Record day with Black Friday, we crossed over 4,500.
Nice.
And then actually, one of our best days was Thanksgiving Day, which surprised me. And
the day before Black Friday?
Yeah, Thanksgiving Day, and then Black Friday was great. And then Cyber Monday, another little spike there.
Yep, but like so far, like you want to talk about the total revenue and the profit just over the span of running the whole store?
Yeah, so the total revenue in 78 days is $140,000 with about 20% margins there.
It's pretty solid. Yeah. One more question before we get into the actual, specific strategies of like finding the product, doing the initial scaling, and one of the shitty things that happened halfway through, which we'll get into in a minute. You were 100% growing this with TikTok ads.
Yeah.
Like paid TikTok ads. Were you doing Google ads or organic or like anything else?
No Google ads. Just recently we've been doing Facebook, still testing on Facebook. We tested Snapchat, did not work.
What happened on Facebook?
Facebook, we're getting good added cards. It's still early. Like, it's been a couple.
Oh, you're doing it now.
Yeah,
okay.
It's been a couple days. We're getting added cards. ROAS is good. Obviously, scaling is differently with Facebook, and I haven't done it in a while. So we're just really in the testing phase, finding the pockets, finding the interest, and then hopefully just scaling those pockets and those car interest.
Yeah, that's cool. And Google ads, you're also doing now, or how did those perform?
No, we haven't done Google ads yet. That's something that we'll definitely look into.
I would highly recommend it. I've been trying to get into Google ads. I know that there's a lot of people that run Google ads aside or like alongside their TikTok ads, because a lot of people will see a product on TikTok. This is great for organic as well. They'll see it on TikTok and they'll just hop over to Google and just search it instead of clicking the link in the ad or whatever. So,
yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that do Google ads, and their main strategy is literally finding people like us who just run TikTok ads, and they just run Google ads to our products, and they're taking our customers, right? So I think they work very, very well together for that exact reason. But let's get into the product testing process. So we're going to break this down. We're going to talk about, what the testing phase was like, what the initial scaling was like, the first hiccup that he had to deal with, and then how he ultimately was able to scale it to 2K per day. And I guess we can talk about Black Friday too, because I'm sure a lot of people want to talk about, how you made that jump It actually looks like you had a day that was quite bigger than 4K here. I don't know what that is, but it looks like it's going up to like
maybe
6K.
6K, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a day that is 6K, and again, I'll show the screenshots on the screen so that you guys can see, but we'll definitely get into all that. But let's start in the very beginning, where most people hang out, right? All the beginner dropshippers are hanging out in the product testing phase.
Yeah.
What kind of product research were you guys doing together? Like, what were the methods that you were teaching him, and how did that play out with him?
Yeah, well, Jake, my student, really likes the car niche, and it's a really great niche, honestly. Everyone has a car. People that have cars really like their cars. So Jake really just went through hashtags for cars, and also just searching on TikTok, like car modifications, car this, car that. And he actually found just an organic video of this with very low likes. It wasn't anything crazy. Just the product was cool. The video was honestly horrible. It was very blurry. Someone just posted the product. So we had to do more research once we found the product and test the creatives. But the product was just found by looking through TikTok. Nothing crazy.
Just scrolling through hashtags.
Yeah, no paid, no ad searching for like
Yep.
PP ads or drop point or anything like that.
And how many like products were you finding? Like, were you finding a lot of products? Like, were you taking the method of like pushing a ton of volume and then just picking out really good ones, or were you like really digging deep looking for something really good?
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, I always tell my students not to be picky and try to bring as many products as they can, because they'll get better at product research just going through it.
Yeah. Same. I tell all my students like 50 to 100 per week, and then out of those 50 to 100, how many are good?
2, 3.
like very small amount. So
yeah,
that's great. And in terms of the product research going into the product testing, how many products did you guys actually test before you actually popped this one? Because I know that this one popped off really hard. You said you got 20 sales on the first day.
Yeah, first day was crazy.
But how many products did you have to test to like get to that?
Yeah, it might have been Jake's like second product test.
Oh damn!
It was crazy. No, that happens too though. It's just you just gotta test. And
it happens, bro. In my last video, I was literally just talking about one of my students who's now doing 10K a day on his store, and he had to test 100 products to find his winner. And he didn't, like, that was the only winner that he really made a substantial amount of money on, like, more than a few $1,000s. And then you got guys like this where, Jake was pretty new, right? Like, he's a pretty reasonable beginner.
Yeah, he's been in and out of dropshipping for a couple years. Took a huge break, and then, with TikTok, he wanted to get back into it. So he kind of knew the process. Product research is different with Facebook and TikTok, just the way you find the products. But I think he knew he understands the winning product, like the, eye-catching, affects people's emotions. Yeah, it was a great quality product that he found.
But like to find a winner that early on, like we see the extremes on both ends over these last couple of videos, right? We got like the other kid that took 100 product tests, and then we have this other guy who just like tests a couple. One of them ends up popping off. Same strategy though.
Same strategy.
Because like we're following the same product research method, we're following the same store, one product brand of stores. And we're pretty much doing the same testing strategy, like we follow the same shit. So it's really interesting, and I thought that was worth mentioning in this video. Like how fast it happened, which 100% is like not normal. It's a little bit random, right? Because some people take a little bit longer, some people take quicker, which is why we constantly preach, just stay consistent. This is why we tell all of our students, just test a consistent amount of products each week and just keep going with it. It doesn't matter how many you need to test to find a winner, because I've personally had students that are brand new to dropshipping. The very first product we test, like the first one, and it's not even the one that we test together, it's the very first product that they've ever tested with dropshipping. Mm-hmm. Dude, I had one student who made $30,000 in profit on his first product test ever.
Yeah.
And then we have students like the other guy who had to test 100 products. Same
methods.
A numbers game. It's a numbers game, and sometimes you can hit it early, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer. You just got to be able to stick it through. So let's touch on the actual testing method that you were using. I'm assuming it's very similar to mine, but like, do you remember like what the campaign structure was, how many ads you had, like how did you get the ads? Just go into how you launched the first test that made like 20 sales.
Yeah. So this test isn't any different than any other test. I keep the variables the same. I always do one campaign, 5 to 7 ad groups depending on your budget. One thing that you have to find out what works best is the budgets, but for testing either 25 or 20, I think for this product the $20 budgets work the best. So we did one campaign, 5 ad groups. I think we had 3 creatives in the beginning. We found these creatives on TikTok and then edited them. Kind of branded them a little bit. Jake's really good at editing videos like that.
Like, you put his logo on it or something?
Not our logo, just our store name, like, and like the .com, and made it small and put it on like just around the video and made it look more branded, and just got rid of the blurry videos. I think for testing, we did test like the original one and it did okay, but after a couple of days, it was easy to narrow down to like 2 creatives that were just popping off and just recreating those and editing those.
And do you remember like how much you spent on that first day on that initial campaign?
We probably let it spend because it was popping off, so probably $100, yeah.
And what was the revenue made back?
On the first day?
Yeah.
Somewhere around 700 maybe.
Damn.
First day, it was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, products like that are, you know, just like perfect, like, man, super scalable. So you found the product, you tested it, you spent $100 or whatever, made 700 in revenue. How did you like transition that into day 2, day 3, you know, week 1, week 2, like the first couple of weeks of scaling that? Because obviously, as we know, when you pop a new winner, especially with TikTok ads, it can die out like that. So there's a lot of things you have to do to make sure that you're maximizing it and you're doing things correctly. You want to touch on like the week after, you know, just give a good idea of like how you transitioned it into being a consistent scale?
Yeah, well, we want to jump on it quick, and the first thing I always do is look at the best performing ad creative and isolate the best videos. In this case, we had 2. Sometimes it's just 1, but for the next campaign we made, it was just the 2 best performing ad creatives. And then at that point, we're testing. We're not changing too many variables. We just want to change a couple variables at a time to see what's best. So at first, we were just doing conversion lowest cost, obviously, and then we quickly tested value at different ROASs. And then
value slaps.
And yeah, value's by far the best. That's what we're at right now. We just stick to value. Yep. We'll just change the value, like minimum ROAS, like 2, 2.5, 3. Sweet spots around 2, 2.1. But cost cap, you know, it's different for every product, and cost cap just didn't work for this product. So we quickly found that out and stopped wasting money on cost cap and just did all value.
Yeah, so it's very, very similar to like the strategy that I talked about in the Q4 Spark series, where, you know, you're just launching new variables. Like, you made sure that you did the lowest cost, the value, the cost cap, which is something that almost on every new winner, I try to split test those as fast as possible. You also changed the creatives. You did an isolation campaign.
Yeah, very quickly, like right away.
Yeah, damn. I mean, usually I don't change creatives that early, but hey, isolation campaigns are great. That's like if you're split testing, you know, five ads, and one of them is bringing in all the sales, just getting rid of the other 4 and just running with the one that has sales. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty cool. Like, do you remember like what revenue you were able to push in the first like 2 weeks or so?
Yeah, we were doing up to $1,000 pretty consistently, like 800 to 1,000.
Just like right away, 1,000 a day.
It was right under that, probably like 900, and then like I remember when we hit past 1K, like, okay, let's keep this consistent.
That had to have been a great moment for you and Jake, bro.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Yeah, it had to be dope. And in the beginning stages, was it very like up and down, or was it fairly consistent, like between 700 and 1,000?
It's always been pretty consistent. It's not always like that, but for this product, it was. I mean, I think what's really important is it was an untapped product. There's not a bunch of competitors doing this. Like, I always tell students, you can't be the 100th person to test a product. You can be the first, second, third, fifth, but you can't be the last person testing it.
I already know there's gonna be motherfuckers in the comments like, I made money once selling a saturated product.
Hey, this is the boring method. You can just hop in.
Yeah, you can, right? It doesn't mean, like, usually what I tell people, bro, is like, you can test saturated bullshit.
Yeah.
The thing is when people come to me for help with dropshipping, they're coming to me looking for, you know, something that's going to give them like a life-changing thing. Like, they're not looking for something that's just going to like squeeze by or like make a very small amount of money. Like, they want something that's going to be explosive like this, right? Like, they want that $1,000 per day. They want that good ROAS. They want those 20 sales on day 1. Yeah. And it's very, very, very difficult to get that with a product that is just, you know, everybody's out there is testing it. You know, it's just super saturated. So
it's not as lucrative, I would say that.
Yeah, it's not going to give you the explosive growth that you want.
And you can get stuck just getting sales and like not checking profit. That's when I first started Facebook. Like, I would get to like, this is great, but I'm just breaking even. Like,
yeah.
And even with saturated products, like, oh my god, I'm scaling, but I'm really not making any money.
All right, so you mentioned to me that around the point where you were doing like 1 to 1.5K, like not later on, but earlier on, something happened, a little hiccup, something that happened that kind of, you know, scared you a little bit, but you found a solution to it, and I know you wanted to speak about it. So let's tell them about the story and what happened and how you overcame it.
Yeah. So the first hiccup that came up with this product was the cost of goods sold. It increased a couple dollars, which might not seem a lot, but when you're scaling, that is a lot, and it decreases your profit margin. So the way we fixed it is the economies of scale, which basically means ordering more stock will lower the price of the cost of goods sold for the factory when they're making the product. So we were ordering like 50 to 70 units like every couple of days, and that quickly went up, so we started ordering 100. And when we started ordering 100, that's when the prices increased. So what we had to do is just order more stock. So we ordered about 200 to 250. We're ordering those every couple of days now.
So wait, the supplier increased the price like on AliExpress? Like where were you fulfilling?
Yeah, I have a supplier. I've been using her for years. We've just built a great relationship. You know, just built rapport with her. I trust her. She does all my stores with any products. She sent me Christmas gifts. I sent her Christmas gifts too. Like, it's great. Shout out Carol.
Big Carol, what's up?
Yeah. But yeah, it's easy to talk to Carol. We have Skype, so it's communications through there. I send her AliExpress links and she sources them.
Yeah. It's always scary. Like, I've had a lot of people come to me like, oh, like I'm scaling this product and they up the price, so I had to up my price. And you don't always have to increase your price. Like, you can talk to your suppliers. Sometimes when they up the price, they're just doing it for the general public. If you're selling 50 to 100 units on your store, they might make an exception and, you know, let you in for either a cheaper price or at least what it was before, you know, so that's really, really good.
Yeah. It benefits them to stay with us. So, you know, they're trying to get the lowest price for us, especially when we're ordering that many units.
Yeah, and they want to stick with you because obviously they're making money.
Yeah, of course.
So they want to be a part of your journey as well. Yeah. Cool. So that was good. So you know, supplier upped the price, shit your pants a little bit, you know, fix the problem, and then you were able to smoothly scale from there. Yeah. So what was it like scaling from, you know, you pretty much hit 1,000 a day pretty much instantly. Mm-hmm. What was it like going to like 2K a day? What were some of the things that you had to like overcome, some of the ad strategies that, you know, really crushed it for you? Maybe some things that the audience can take advantage of and go and test right now if there's somebody that has a winner. Yeah.
I would say the first thing is don't be scared to, you know, up the price, up your budget on testing or scaling. It was kind of risky for us to, you know, launch more campaigns. Like, what if it didn't do good? And some days it didn't increase as much as we wanted, so we had to kind of find the sweet spot. At first, we kind of jumped the gun and launched 5 extra campaigns than we usually do, which was a lot. That probably, you know, increased our ad spend double or more. And
big jump.
Yeah, and we found the sweet spot by just launching 2 to 3 new campaigns every day. Same 5 ad groups, and we didn't change budget. We tried surfing. Surfing did not work with this product. I wish it did because that'd be great. But it's simple for each product.
Surf scaling don't always work.
It doesn't.
You know.
We tested higher budgets. We doubled the budget to 40 and 45. Didn't work as well.
So basically just horizontal scaling, testing new variables.
And we just stick with what's working. We analyze every day, see what's working, and just repeat that. It's very simple. Just what's working, just duplicate that. So we stuck to value at 2.0 to 2.5 ROAS. We didn't notice a huge difference between those two. But we just duplicated to 2 campaigns every day, very strict. And then one issue that we did come across is not having the ad group rules consistent. We would kind of let them spend like over $10 with no sales, and now we're very strict about killing at $10.
Yeah, bro. I remember looking at your account and I was like, when are you guys turning off ad groups?
We're like,
because you guys
whenever it doesn't get sales.
You guys were just burning money, bro.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can we make this better? I'm like, start killing your ad groups. Like, halfway through the day.
Yeah.
If they spend like $12 or whatever and they're not making sales, just turn them off. It's really funny that you brought that up. You wouldn't believe, bro, if everything is profitable as a whole, it's super easy to just forget about the bad ad groups.
Yes, we kind of got caught in the loop.
Yeah, like I've done that so many times, and you can literally increase your profit margins by a ton just by killing a little bit early. And as you're watching your account, you can literally see like 90% of good ad groups will make a sale by $11 or $10, and you come up with that number, and then you can use that number for that ad account when you're making decisions.
Yeah, we've been using the automated rules on TikTok. It helps a lot because some days it might spend really quick, and then you look at your account at 9 a.m. and it spent $15. You're like, but the automated rules are great. I just kill at 10 each day, and just actively manage them.
Yeah,
it can be a headache when you have a bunch of campaigns and a bunch of ad groups and you're scrolling through. You might miss them, you know.
Yeah, so that's cool. So you're doing like 1 to 2K a day, like in that range. I'm looking at the graph right now, and then all of a sudden, just like skyrockets up. Looks like you had a $4,000 day, followed by like a 6K day, and then it looks like you had another. How much revenue was the BFCM weekend in total? It was like 20, right?
I think it was like 17, 18.
17, 18. Yeah, so
I made like 5K profit on
man, talk about perfect timing. Like, I literally tell people all the time, like, the best timing that you can have is to find a winner in like October, September, which you guys found this winner in
September,
late September, right?
Late September.
So you made your money like literally before Black Friday came, and then you were able to hit Black Friday with force because you were able to stay consistent. Like, dude, timing was impeccable on this. What did you do going into Black Friday? You know, because you said that you also had a really good Thanksgiving as well, which is the day before. So talk about that.
So the first thing we did was get the ad creative set up a week prior. So we had Black Friday ads and Cyber Monday ads. And you told me to don't be scared to double, triple, quadruple your budget. And like you said, you're gonna regret not spending more, and that's exactly what happened.
I know, it's almost like I've been through it before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I made a video like every Q4 I make a video ahead of time, and there's, you know, the biggest thing that I tell people is like, if you don't spend more, you're gonna regret it, because like when you're in the heat of the moment, you don't want to spend more. Like, it's scary. You don't want to fuck it up. You don't want to mess with it. You don't want to lose money. You know, but you guys went pretty hard. Like, to go from like 1.5K a day, 2K a day, jump to 4K.
Yeah.
Like, what was the return on ad spend at that time?
We were making. I think on Black Friday we made like $1,200, which is our highest profit. Net profit, yeah.
Yeah, so $4,500 revenue, give or take, $1,200 profit.
Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
It was by far our most profitable day with this product.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was, and then Black Friday was a little bit less, and then Cyber Monday was a little bit less as well. But TikTok kind of gave us a hiccup because we were launching campaigns in the middle of the day, and they weren't getting approved. TikTok was probably so busy with a bunch of people doing the same thing. What we should have done is launched a bunch of campaigns the night before, or even 2 days before, and set them for Black Friday. But we would wake up at 9 a.m. earlier and then launch campaigns throughout the day. But those ad groups weren't getting approved until later in the day. So if you look at our sales, our sales kind of came in later in the day because that's when they're getting approved. So I wish we had those set up before. But we didn't know TikTok would do that.
Yeah. So you pretty much did like the same thing that you were doing on any normal day, just ramped way up. Yeah. You had BFCM creatives with like a Black Friday discount in them.
Call to action.
Yeah, call to action, whatever. That's dope, bro. And then that leads us to today, and it looks like you guys are still cranking like 2K a day to this day.
Yeah.
Like, what was the revenue like yesterday, day before? Like, are you still at that range?
Yeah, it's always a little bit under 2K to 2K.
Yeah.
Pretty consistently.
That's good. I mean, this is definitely one of the longer life cycles for a TikTok winner that I've seen.
Yeah. Right now we only have one competitor, and we had a couple and they just fizzled out. Their stores were bad, their ads were bad. We have one competitor we're competing with, but that's just the name of the game. It's obviously not a patented product. Like, we understand that. It's kind of more motivating for us to see that and like, okay, we need to go harder with this product. That's why we're going to Facebook and, you know, other.
Yeah, definitely outlets. Test out Google, but
yeah,
really cool, man. It's been like 2.5 months, yeah.
Yep,
it's a good range.
78 days.
It's a good range, and you've been doing 1 to 2K a day the whole time. Had a great Black Friday. Well, I'm super excited that you were able to hop on and tell this story. I'm sure it's going to excite a lot of people out there who are testing products and trying to find a winner. And honestly, this is the perfect example of, you know, I told you so for my Black Friday video, because a lot of the things that you did, I told everybody to do, and not everybody did it. So now they're going to be able to see what happens. Leighton here was literally able to double, triple the revenue of the store for like a 3-day window, which is ridiculous. So I'm super glad that you shared that. And like I said earlier, Leighton is now on my team as a coach. So if you want to be like Jake and pay someone to actually help you find a winning product, scale it, take advantage of it in the right way during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. He is an official NOAA approved mentor. I've been watching him coaching. He's an amazing dude, great coach. He has like all the qualities that I would want in somebody working under me as a coach. If you guys want that for yourselves, there will be an application in the description below where you can apply to work with him. And you can also check him out on TikTok. You can send him a message on Discord. He's very active in my Discord as well. So yeah, if you want to work with Leighton, just hit us up, let us know, and we will definitely get that set up for you. All right, guys, so that's how Leighton took his student from 0 to 2K per day and did over $137,000 in revenue to today, and also had a great Black Friday. And that's all the strategies and stuff that, you know, we can pretty much share here. I hope it was super valuable for you. If it was, smash the like button. Go and give Leighton a follow on TikTok. And of course, join the Discord. Link is in the description. Leighton's in there. You can ask him questions. You can ask me questions. There's free trainings going in there all the time. And we're actually getting a ton of users lately. Like, it's crazy the amount of people that are popping in and talking, you know, sharing their wins, sharing their successes. So super excited for everything that we have coming soon. But this is me and Leighton from the Viral Ecom team. We will talk to you guys later.
Peace.